Alright, I don't think we're ever in the habit of throwing away a hand that has the ability to do something on turn 2. Hey Chris, how many hours do you want to stream a week? I don't know that I have an exact set number for that. I probably should in the long run, but I've always kind of just done streaming at whatever pace felt natural. The last couple of weeks, I have been doing a lot more streaming, I think, or at least a lot more regular streaming. And I think I've been doing about 20 hours during the week. That's pretty bad. And then occasionally more on the weekend. And that in addition to the time that I've been spending editing videos for YouTube lately. Oh wow, this is very bad. Cool. Being on the draw is difficult. Yeah, I still can't do anything. Okay. So we're definitely gonna go with being on the draw kinda sucks. So now I'm dead. Do I have another gig? Well, I mean, I have a salary from Wizards of the Coast as a professional player, which is sort of a gig, I suppose. And I also work at a local card shop. They might not put the Storm Charge Slasher on Rahilda. They might forget they can do that and have lethal. We can hope. Okay, well, gotta counter that. And now we hope the opponent misses lethal. Ah, that's a bummer. They didn't. Whoops. Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna hope that goes better for us next time. The good news is we get to bring in Smoldering Eggs and Crush the Weaks and some Lier and probably trim to Behold the Multiverse. And what else? What else? I guess I can probably trim more Behold the Multiverse. Why not? I can't really trim any more card draw than that. This is actually a surprisingly large amount of high-cost spells now that we're playing Burn Down the House, and I don't really know what to think of that. I guess I can trim a Galvanic Iteration in this matchup, probably. Yeah, it seems reasonable. You're very welcome. I super enjoy streaming. I don't think that I would do it if I didn't. In fact, I pretty much only do it because I enjoy it. Ooh, okay. So we have 2 Snarls in the deck that reward us for playing the Pathway out here. Is there some very important reason we might want double blue? Whatever land I play this turn has to be on red because I want to play the Smoldering Egg. I don't think I need this to be on double blue. Here's some well. Wow. Geistchanneler is the reason we wanted that Pathway to be on blue. You're telling me I got super aggroed out by the perfect curve from a dragons deck? That didn't involve any dragons? Ah, that hurts. Also, my bounce spell hand doesn't look super good against this, but I'm probably still gonna win because I've got a Smoldering Egg. It's mostly a question of whether or not I can successfully dodge Dragonfire on my Smoldering Egg. Do I want to divide by 0 this Fearsome Whelp and save 1 point of damage? No. I'm a little worried about what happens if they just don't play anything here. I still have to go shields down one way or the other. Ideally, they play some derpy 3-drop dragon. Well, 4-drop dragon. Yeah, but if I divide by 0 the Fearsome Whelp, there is a unfortunate chance that they Dragon's Fire my egg, and I don't want that to happen. Unfortunately, this means they have Dragon's Fire, which is also a huge problem. So they kind of have everything, which I take to mean I have lost. That's unfortunate. Also, the mountain wasn't a island. I can play Teachings of the Archaics now. And try to hit a blue source. Yeah, I guess that's my out in this spot. Okay. Island helps. So we hope they miss on the untapped land. Tuning Izzet for control mirrors feels like the wrong thing to do. Well, I would rather get Izzet to a place where it can beat up control decks, because I think that's the matchup that I am inclined to care about beating right now. There aren't a ton of very good aggro decks right now. Or rather, I don't think that there are aggro decks that can beat Esper. And so that isn't the metagame I would want to prepare against. I would rather try to build decks that can actually beat Esper, because it seems like the right combination of most popular deck and strongest deck. I mean to say that I'm tuning Izzet to beat control mirrors, not necessarily to beat Izzet mirrors. I should clarify that. Alright, surely you don't have the second Dragon's Fire opponent. Do I want to divide by 0 that? Or do I want to Fading Hope it? I probably want to divide by 0 it because I need to get my Smoldering Egg transformed relatively quickly. Okay, just an orb. That's not scary. Decline that island for now. Let's get this egg transformed. Gain a bunch of life, put a bunch of lands in our hand, thin our deck a bunch. We got ourselves a blocker for Fearsome Whelp. Alright, it's a start. Oh, read my Ashmouth Dragon opponent, just don't target it with a removal spell. Okay, more removal spells. Understood. We're gonna need to draw a fancy card advantage spell. Wow, I have more basics in my deck still. Okay. We will be taking action and sacrificing that island at this point. We have not yet found card advantage, or ways to dump a ton of mana to flip this Smoldering Egg, which is a concern. Okay. That does result in us being dead, doesn't it? Well, my general opinion of dragons is that it can win when it has the nut draw. It's not the nut draw of dragons that's weak. It's every other time you mulligan. Yeah, alright. I'm not going to throw away 3 lands. We're going to hope this is a matchup where Fading Hope is particularly useful. We do need to find some card advantage. Oh, you know what's a card that's in our deck? Unexpected Windfall is in our deck. That would have been really cool last game. I kind of forgot about that. I do mostly want to keep making land drops. I don't think there's too many things I would expect out of mono red that I want a Jwari Disruption on turn 2 rather than Fading Hope. So Stormcarved Coast gives us Burn Down the House. Is that a good idea, or do I just desperately need card advantage? I guess I need the double red source for an Unexpected Windfall anyway, so we might as well hold on to the Stormcarved Coast. We're just gonna keep bouncing that for the time being. Geistchanneler, not bad, but I'd like card advantage more. There's some fancy stuff. Alright, Unexpected Windfall. You get to make us a bunch of mana and hopefully find other things that are relevant. Here's a Chandra. Don't mind that much. Socks, no. Hey, dude. Dude. Come on. Okay. They may choose to cast a 1-drop. That's a atypical line. I think I discard the land here. I kind of probably need to burn down the house. Alright. Discover the formula with no 6th land is kind of weird. Do I take the gamble and hope to draw an untapped land? And then copy Discover the Formula next turn? No, I probably just play Discover the Formula here. Normal and straight up. Want to place cards. So we are going to get to burn down the house to remove our opponent's board. We do not hit a land drop. We still do not hit a land drop. Okay, so if I were to choose to Geistchanneler, Behold the Multiverse, then I would need to hit an untapped land in order to burn down the house. Is that what I want to do? And then I lose the Geistchanneler? That doesn't sound terribly exciting. But if I don't do that, I don't make the land drop this turn. Is not making the land drop this turn acceptable in any way? I don't think so. So I think I'm Geistchannelering. I think I'm discounting Behold the Multiverse. I think I'm casting Behold the Multiverse, and I think I'm probably just considering not playing Burn Down the House this turn. Gonna get rid of both of them. I want to make this land drop. We make the land drop tapped. I guess that works. Alright, well that does leave us with Divide by 0 at least. Chandra takes 7. Okay. More gold spans, kinda sad. Alright, I could divide by 0 that, but it's possible I don't want to. I might want to let them play more to the board into burn down the house range. If they don't crack the treasures, I might be kind of sad though. Well, I think it's probably worth the risk. And then I think I get to divide by 0 the Chandra. Okay. If they want to Abrade my Geistchanneler, that's fine. They're running lower on hasty threats. Cool. Alrund's Epiphany is a card they can hit. Sure. This is any turn you attacked with a wolf or werewolf. Lovely. Okay. Environmental Sciences, in case we miss this land drop. We missed this land drop. I don't have another red source, so I don't have a third red source, so I can't Galvanic Iteration Unexpected Windfall for some card advantage. Mostly to try to hit a land drop. I can, however, burn down the house and Environmental Sciences and then hope I don't die. I think that's basically the line here. We get to Environmental Sciences for our third red source. We get to blow up the board. Yeah, he could have a third Goldspan Dragon. That makes this very awkward. Alright. So now they play Chandra and put me to 1, and I have to answer the Chandra somehow? Okay.
Go ahead. Bite me as hard as you can.
That's inconvenient.
I'd love to.
So we Geistchanneler A-Alrund's Epiphany, and Geistchanneler can attack Chandra for 1. Is that meaningful in any way? No, not really. Be a lot easier if A-Alrund's Epiphany made birds here. But I was 1 mana short of foretelling it. Galvanic Iteration, Unexpected Windfall, have 4 mana. Have 5 mana. I don't have any other A-Alrund's Epiphanies besides this left in my deck, so I kind of can't use it. That's sort of necessary to win the game. So I need to find some other answer here. Fading Hope is one answer. How do we answer Chandra, though? Oh. Burn down the house. Do you hit Planeswalkers? Sweet. Wait, did I bounce Chandra not realizing that this did both? I thought I had to choose whether it hit Planeswalkers or... We're gonna pretend and hope that Chandra was at 6 loyalty so that it wouldn't have died. But I don't know if that's actually true. Okay, Hull is gone. It was at 6? Okay, we're gonna pretend that was all intentional. So on our upkeep, we bounce the Town Razor Tyrant. Wait, was that super bad? No, it was not super bad. Alright, take action, sack it. It was pretty bad in that if I had just cast the Galvanic Iteration, I could double A-Alrund's Epiphany here without sacking a treasure, and now I have to sack the treasure. but it's not the most terribly critical mistake in the entire world. It just kinda sucks. Tis a bummer that our land is gone, but Seagate Restoration's a pretty good draw here. Is it more cards if I Galvanic Iteration Seagate Restoration? The first Seagate Restoration draws 2, puts me to 3. The second Seagate Restoration draws 4, puts me to 7. Whereas if I just cast this Seagate Restoration, I go to 6. I'm assuming it's probably better to copy the Seagate Restoration. Okay, we could hit Seagate Restoration plus Galvanic. That's an option. Alright. Lier's a good card. I'm beginning to feel slightly stabilized here. We'll even get to, like, have cards that do things and stuff. Now, we're gonna play a Geistchanneler and get some 2 mana discounted divide by zeros. 1 mana total. Alright. Yeah. I could play Environmental Sciences. Am I willing to do that? Currently, if they play a Chandra, I have to divide by 0 it twice, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I think that's okay. I can live with that. Although I guess Environmental Sciences, if I play it, also gives me an untapped land next turn, which might be relevant. Wow, Dragon's Fire. Oh no. How do we want to answer that? I think if the opponent wants to kill this Lier, I'm going to demand they use all of their mana to do so. Oh, okay. I think that's fine by me. Have they played a land yet this turn? They have. I think that means I just get to bounce my Lier, probably? I don't think they kill me with this. Oh, they just straight up have 3 Dragon's Fires? Sure. Okay. That's fine. Let's get Mascot Exhibition, why not? Okay, many counter spells. You love to see it. We have 23 cards left in our deck. So if I were to Galvanic Seagate, we would have 2 mana available this turn. Is that strictly necessary? I don't think that's totally necessary. I think I can get away with just casting a Seagate Restoration here, and then having 2 divide by zeros up. Yeah, that works. Oh, cool. Stormcarved Coast. That's simple. Okie dokie. Get in there, Geistchanneler. I'm really glad I have all this extra life. If I hadn't saved so many points of damage early on, this would be a little trickier. Opponent uses pretty much their whole turn to Reckless Stormseeker me. We can divide by 0 that. They replay the Reckless Stormseeker. My hand. Probably want to loot away a land. Was this the game where they exiled my other A-Alrund's Epiphany? It is. That's a bummer. It's going to make winning this game a little bit trickier. 14 cards left in deck. How many copies of Burn Down the House have I used? 2. How many Liers have I used? So 1 remaining Lier is more or less my only win con at this point, I think. Well, besides Mascot Exhibition, so maybe I'm just supposed to copy a bunch of Mascot Exhibitions this turn. I could copy it twice. Is that what I want to do? Does that make me overly nervous? Yeah, I only get 1 divided by 0 if I copy it twice. I think I'm just copying Mascot Exhibition once. Alright, that's our win con, and now we have Galvanic plus Divide. That should slowly get us to the point where we win this game, I think. Life is still bad if they play Chandra, because I die to that. But Townraiser Tyrant is less of a problem. In fact, in the interest of doing the most damage, am I supposed to Galvanic, Divide by 0, Reckless Stormseeker, and Townraiser Tyrant here? They get to Dragon's Fire a 4/4. They take 10, 15. Not lethal. Do I have any way to push through more damage? Only if we draw Lier. I suppose I get to loot twice with Divide by 0 towards Lier if I do this Galvanic Iteration plan. No, I think I'm probably supposed to hold on to the Divide by 0 to be safer against future threats. Yeah, it doesn't gain trample. So they actually wind up casting the Dragon's Fire here, huh? Which I figure I'm probably bouncing, because I would rather trade with this Townraiser Tyrant. Alternatively, I could bounce their entire board now. I'm down 1 mana from where that was at previously, but it does remove their access to Dragon's Fire this way around, which makes Stormseeker a little less scary because I only need 1 blocker for it. Letting them replay Townraiser Tyrant is annoying in that it attacks my mana, but I don't know that I need my mana at this point. I think I'm just bouncing the creatures. Okay, cool. They got there. Yeah, the lack of actual any early removal at all is sort of a problem with the way we have this set up. I'm beginning to think that this might be a step too far in the not respecting aggro direction. So that said, I kind of wonder about trying Hullbreaker Horror. Fading Hope is early removal, but that's not good against a lot of Dragons decks. They're uniquely well positioned against balance-based removal. Oh, that's right, I am supposed to be bringing in Disdainful Stroke. That was something that was supposed to happen last time. And I think I bring in Horror, and I think I bring in Lier, and I think I cut a bunch of Behold the Multiverses. We tried Smoldering Egg last time, and I don't think that that's a terrible idea. I just don't think it's a right idea, necessarily. There's certainly way too many expensive cards, but I don't actually think we have super great other options. Okay. Unexpected Windfall is the best card in our deck, so we keep the hand that is capable of casting it. And now, in order to curve out perfectly, we hope we draw Galvanic Iteration and Geistchanneler next turn, so that we can go turn 4 double Windfall. That's the dream. No to Fearsome Whelp, thank you very much. Hullbreaker Horror. Sure. My life's going to be pretty awkward, but I'm glad I had that Fading Hope. So the Whelp comes down. We hope the opponent's hand isn't a bunch of dragons, which oftentimes it's not. What you got for me, opponent? Hand has a dragon. That's a concern. We're gonna snag a Mascot Exhibition. Opponent's hand has very low mana costs, deeply concerning. But as long as they don't double cast too many spells, we are going to get set up to do Hullbreaker Horror into A-Alrund's Epiphany, into Mascot Exhibition, which should slightly stabilize. We just need to not be dead by the time that happens. That's the goal. Orb of Dragonkind, okay. Opponent wants to cast 2 spells. It's sort of concerning. As evidenced by the fact that they didn't choose to crack the orb. Or can you not? No, they could. Okay. Only in Moonveil region. Could be worse. Could be better. For me. We did not draw lands, which kind of smarts, but we did draw Burn Down the House, which seems pretty radical right now, actually. Should I do that as the follow-up to Hullbreaker Horror? Or should I do it now? If I burn down the house after Hullbreaker Horror, there's a small concern that the opponent might have Dragon's Fire to kill the Hullbreaker Horror at that point. Yeah, I feel like now is pretty safe. Oh, Orb of Dragonkind is a permanent. Okay, I was wondering why that did 1 damage with no creatures in play, but that's not the text that Moonveil Region has. We do still need more land drops. But at least our life total's kind of cozy. I'm going to need my opponent to not play more things that blow up my lands. Okay, yeah. They could definitely have had mostly the nuts with the Fearsome Whelp. Sure. Okay. So what's the plan here? Don't sacrifice that. Hit the land drop. I would like to have a Fading Hope right now. That would make my life easier. So if I play Discover the Formula, I can divide by 0 the Inferno, which isn't actually helpful. Den of the Bugbear is going to be a problem. I kind of just have to play Mascot Exhibition, don't I? Jump block, trade, take 1. Yeah, it's kind of the best I've got going. Which does not set me up well, because I'm actually using up a treasure to do this. So now even if I draw Fading Hope, I still can't have Hullbreaker plus Fading Hope. I'm dead to a Dragonfire. I'm dead to literally every dragon in their deck. And they get to Orb of Dragonkind for every dragon in their deck except for Goldspan Dragon, unless they have a land drop that's untapped. Okay, that has been lethal. Yeah, it's situations like this that are the real nerf to A-Alrund's Epiphany. It's not the mana cost element, really. It's that not being able to play A-Alrund's Epiphany defensively is a huge deal. The opportunity cost of playing the card becomes so much more immense as a result. Well, that said, that was basically the curve out we want. We just want to be able to do it on the play, so hopefully that's how this goes this time. Certainly this is a start. I think I have to keep this and hope to hit my third land drop, but if we do hit the third land drop, it's a pretty solid hand. I might not be able to keep this hand if we were on the draw because it wouldn't represent turn 2 Fading Hope, or rather, I guess turn 1 Fading Hope being held up to hit their Whelp, but it totally holds it up when we are on the play. Active Gamer Fitness, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Alright, Burn Down the House is not a land. That's a concern. Opponent does have Whelp again. Sure. Alright, now we pay 3 life for an untapped land. I'm willing. It hurts, but I'm willing. I don't really have anything to do if I grab Environmental Sciences, so I think I'm just teaching the Archaics in here. Which does hit a land. Good enough. Only 1 land is kind of a bummer, but what you gonna do? Okay, Stormseeker's not the scariest thing they could be doing here. How about a land, deck? Thank you. I love you very much. So I want to play the Geistchanneler. What am I discounting? Probably Divide by 0, I guess. It gives me Galvanic Iteration plus Divide by 0 if I want. I don't think having Burn Down the House be cheaper here is a terribly huge deal. And depending on what their play for the turn is, I might wind up just casting the 3 mana Divide by 0. So far we have played against nothing but dragons, which I'm of a weird mind against, because the Dragons deck is not crazy good, and so it's not super valuable to test against. But it is a popular deck, and that makes it valuable to test against in a sense, more so for, I think, the day 1 metagame than the day 2 metagame. I'm hoping they target the Moonveil Regent, so that I get rewarded for letting it resolve, because now the Reckless Stormseeker can't attack through the Geistchanneler. I think I need land drops. The latter is a lot of dragons, but I remain pretty firmly convinced that the deck isn't good. Every time I've played against it, or played it, it is fundamentally a very flawed deck that is not reliable enough to be a good aggro deck, and it can't do anything but be an aggro deck. And it's very bad against the popular control decks, and it's not even good against the other aggro decks. But the way I've got Izzet built right now is not terribly well positioned against dragons, and that might be something that I have to change. I'm just not happy about it because I want to make the deck better against good decks, but in an open, you gotta respect the open meta, not necessarily what you would expect a tournament meta to be. So we are getting really close to the point where I can Hullbreaker Horror. Should I? Galvanic Iteration? Nah, probably not. Yeah, what the heck, we'll take a Mascot Exhibition. Why not? Yeah, so the mulliganing thing is essentially the problem with the Dragons deck, is that it is a deck that has to be an aggro deck, but it is also a ramp deck, and it has the worst parts of both decks and lacks the good parts of either deck. It has the problem of ramp that it needs to draw the exact right combination of ramp spells and payoffs, or else its deck doesn't function, but it doesn't have, like, actual haymakers that win the game. It just plays like a functional aggro deck as its reward. And unlike aggro, it can't just combine any combination of 2-mana creatures together so that it gets to keep a bunch of hands, because most of its 2-mana things aren't actually threats, they're ramp spells. It's just really not reliable, but it is a very fun deck that folks like to play. Alrighty. Should I sorcery speed Hullbreaker Horror there so I'm taking 2 less damage? I don't think that it matters, but maybe. I don't want to give the opponent access to more mana's worth of information to double removal spell my Hullbreaker Horror. So I still have enough mana to double removal spell Hullbreaker Horror. I suppose I just lose to that? Am I willing to just accept losing to that? I think I'm willing to accept just losing to that. Depending on how much mana they tap here, I can do different things with Burn Down the House next turn. If they go down below 2 mana, I can Burn Down the House after Hullbreaker Horror Ring. If they go down to 2 mana, then I have to consider not casting Hullbreaker Horror and then casting Burn Down the House, or doing something other than burning down the house. I'm going to have access to 8 mana. I could just Galvanic Iteration, Burn Down the House to make 3 3s, bounce the Slasher and the Regent. They replay Slasher and the Regent. Wait. I'm 1 off lethal? Dang. Yeah, the pause here means they do have a Dragonfire. Did I do that in their second main phase? I suppose I did. Oh, no, you know what I can do? I forgot the Galvanic Iteration's an instant. I can just burn down the house and then Galvanic Iteration away their burn spell, can't I? Do I attack here? Yeah, 9 life is plenty. I guess I should have burned down the house before attacking. I forgot that was untapped. I'm not playing super clean tonight. Oh well. Yeah, so we burn down the house. We don't return anything. Oh, did they just not? Okay. Well, yeah, I wish I had put my opponent to 7 here. That'd make this a little easier. So what priority did they have last time? Oh, okay. Cool. That works for me. I suppose the priority was because I actually cast the Hullbreaker Horror in their second main phase by mistake, rather than at their end of turn. I didn't realize I had gotten priority. I'm assuming that was because of the Fearsome Whelp, that Arena just automatically gives you priority in the second main phase. This makes sense.